Guys, today's episode of Matt's Mind is brought to you by Plays.org. The past year or so, I know a lot of us have transitioned to virtual environments. I know I was virtual getting my college degree, and when I was in high school, I relied on free gaming softwares and programs and websites during my study hall, during my lunch, during my library periods, whatever it may be, and Plays.org is offering just that. Head to plays.org.com in your URL. It also does work on the mobile phone. You guys can check out the huge variety of games they have. I know I spent some time playing this really cool Tank Hunter game where you destroyed barriers and earned points and stuff like that. I am a little bit of a military nerd, as some of you may know, so I did enjoy it. But they also have some really cool classics like their own take on Pac-Man. Also have Tetris and other cool stuff like that. No sign up is necessary, no information. You can leave the game and join super easy. Nothing is ever required, and it's a really easy platform to use. They have over 150 games on the website, and they're continually adding more and more, so definitely worth saving in your favorites, guys. Once again, go check out plays.org. Link will be down below in the description. A huge thank you to plays.org for sponsoring today's video. Now let's go ahead and get right onto your questions. Now, in all honesty, I'm thinking this is gonna be the new setup for Matt's Mind. I like the camera angle. I like the laptop right here so I can read your questions. If you guys have any suggestions, want me to add something to this environment, let me know. Matt's Minds are back every single Monday. I know you guys have been dying for questions answered. Let's go ahead and jump on to the first top-rated question. We have the Lego Connoisseur saying, "Hey Matt, I presume you've heard of the YouTuber Bricksie." I have. I love him. I'm subscribed. I love all of his content. He's a Lego YouTuber who has been risen so quickly, it's unbelievable. He has been featured on multiple news stations. Are you amazed by how he did it? I am amazed, but also I'm not, because I don't think I've ever seen someone work nearly as hard, at least from what I can see from the public perspective from his videos. I'm a fan of his. I like watching his videos, especially his vlogs are like oddly satisfying. I don't traditionally watch like AFOL vlogs, but something about him, maybe it's him spending $1,000 or more at Lego stores, which is pretty incredible, but he's worked incredibly hard. I read up a little bit about him. I know he had a job and he left it to pursue YouTube full time. His studio is everything I want it to be. I have nothing but love and respect for Bricksie. I hope I get to meet him one day, which would be really cool, and sort of pick his brain and all that kind of stuff. But I'm amazed, but I'm also not, because I think he works really hard for what he gets, and I think he deserves all the success that he's gotten so far. Clone Wars Brix is asking, what's your thoughts on the upcoming Bad Batch series? Now, this episode was 3 weeks ago, so obviously this was right before the Bad Batch came out. No spoilers, but so far the Bad Batch has been amazing. I'm actually thinking of doing an internet sort of podcast over Discord or Skype, maybe talking about some Bad Batch episodes. But in short, the Bad Batch is my favorite time period in Star Wars. It's the rise of the Empire, the fall of the Republic. It's my favorite era in Star Wars, the transition between the two powers, the rise of Darth Vader, and the sort of end of the Republic era. So I'm loving the show. I loved every single episode, and I'm really hoping that I see like an epic battle that I can build in Lego, which I'm really excited for, but we'll have to wait and see. Back-to-back questions here. We got, when is Geonosis, Urbana, and Jedi Temple collab mock between Jay, David, and you going to start? So we actually didn't make an announcement yet, but since Jay is so knee-deep in finishing his Starkiller, David just started his Geonosis. I think we're gonna put off the Jedi Temple until next year's Brick Fair. Also, because there's no public guaranteed at Brick Fair this year, I think there is going to be a public by the time the mandates and rules and regulations lift, but we're basically going to be putting off the Jedi Temple a little bit later. Like I said, Jay's working on Starkiller, bringing it to Brick Rodeo in Texas, and then hopefully bringing it to Brick Fair, Virginia the following weekend. So we're all going to be incredibly busy, but it is still coming. Just stay tuned. BGB is asking, what are your thoughts on Hayden Christensen coming back as Darth Vader in the Kenobi series? I gotta be honest with you, I'm not overly thrilled about it. In episode 4, it's basically perceived that that's the first time that they've even seen each other, Obi-Wan and Darth Vader, that is since Mustafar and since whatever happened there. So I think if they were to throw Vader, they throw a wrench in the story and have Vader meet Kenobi again at some point on Tatooine, that would be just utterly disrespectful. However, if they're doing like a flashbacks type ordeal, I could see that happening. I mean, it'll be cool to see Hayden Christensen again on screen, even though, my feelings about him as an actor are conflicted, but the character he portrayed, I do love the Anakin character itself, so I am optimistic about his return to Kenobi. We'll just kind of have to wait and see. Comment of the episode goes to Dre. I liked because I have allergies like you. Thank you, man. Mr. Brick is asking, do you think now that 2003 Clone Wars is on Disney Plus, we could get some more sets from it? I don't think so. I feel like if there's anything we're going to be getting Clone Wars, it's going to be probably from the Bad Batch. Like, let's be honest, Bad Batch is essentially Clone Wars Season 8. I don't think we're going to get something specifically from the Clone Wars in 2003. I think that the more Clone Era stuff that's added and that's brought back into the mainstream media, I think there's obviously a larger chance that we get more Clone Wars related stuff. I don't think we're going to be getting specific 2003 Clone Wars era sets. However, it's not completely impossible, but we'll kind of just have to wait and see. Coconut Brix is asking, what have you done to improve the way you make your videos, such as setting up a shot, shooting B-roll, just filming in general? Do you have any tutorials or channels to recommend for such things? Now, I've been promising this video for a long time. I've been wanting to make a video, or maybe even like a mini series about how I make my videos, because not to toot my own horn, super cocky or anything, but I've gotten a lot of people who love the quality of my videos, and I do put a lot of work into it. I feel like it's a combination of over time you just become naturally good at it, but also you have to put in the work. So two things I would say are, number one, obviously as time goes on, as you make more videos, you'll basically just become accustomed to what you want to see and what's going to look better. Number two, look at what other people are doing. There's no shame in looking at other content creators, you know, people with more subscribers or more viewers or more videos or whatever it may be. There's no shame in looking and being inspired by some other people. So look up to the creators that you like their quality in, and that doesn't have to be anyone in particular. For me, I was actually getting into investing, and I was watching this YouTube channel. His name is Andre Jick. He does a lot of stock investing and stuff like that, and I just love the way he makes his videos and the presentation and everything like that, even like the split screen edit, and that's something I've kind of brought into my own channel. So just drawing inspiration from other channels, other creators is probably the best way. I mean, you could do the quick little tutorials on YouTube for like Adobe Premiere or Lightroom or anything like that, for Photoshop or whatever it may be, but honestly, experience is going to be the best one for you. As time goes on, you will just get miles better. I mean, look at this video and look at my first video. It's not good, but also don't go in my first video, it's bad. Rocket Brick says, I saw you were wearing a Yankee shirt. I wonder what your favorite team is. I'm actually a huge fan of the Boston Red Sox. That's why I'm wearing a Yankee shirt. Robotod's asking a pretty interesting question. What do you prefer, landscape or industrial building? I'm assuming you mean like Lego mock building. I actually prefer industrial. For me, landscaping, it's not necessarily hard, it's just tough to get started for me. Whereas in Axis, the walls, the buildings, the barracks, the medics, the big base, that was really fun to build, and I'm really hoping I can come back to something sort of architecturally based, at the very least, for my next build. But I think I definitely prefer more buildings and bases and sort of structures and stuff like that. Chess Bricks is asking, Matt's mind, Clone Wars or the Star Wars franchise? I mean, I'm guessing you mean like the Skywalker saga of the movies. I mean, technically Clone Wars is in the Star Wars franchise, but I'll assume your question is Clone Wars or the movies. I still gotta go with movies. Honestly, I like getting that broad perspective of just so many different years within the Star Wars universe. Even though the Clone Wars era is my favorite, I still think I'd rather prefer like the movies, you know, obviously the George Lucas movies, the Disney movies, all 9 of them, honestly all 11 of them, including the standalone films. I think the movies I just get more out of, but I still love the Clone Wars. Chris Lego Man is asking, hey Matt, pretty big fan of your videos, since so I assume you're reading all of these comments. I was wondering if you could give me some tips to grow my channel, since right now I'm really struggling. Tips to grow your channel. This is a question I pretty much get every episode, and I try to space these out when I answer it. There really is no secret Krabby Patty formula. I've said that specific term so many times in that quote. However, there are things you can do. Obviously, consistency is one of the best things. Getting started, just getting started making videos. I mean, when I first live streamed my crate build series, my first dozens of live streams, I maybe had 2 or 3 people watching at a time. But you have to sort of treat yourself like you are already there and put the same amount of effort that you would when you have 100 subscribers or 100,000 subscribers. So just start making videos, start with the consistency, look at other creators and what they're doing, and try to be inspired and draw, you know, some of their talents and try to apply that to your own content. But honestly, the best tip that I give you in growing a channel is just to make videos and start pushing content. But don't push content for the sake of content. Make sure the videos are fun, make sure you're having a good time with them, because when you have a love for something and a passion, you're gonna wanna push and you're gonna wanna make yourself better. So make sure you have a natural drive for it, but also make sure you put in the work. The last question for today comes from Nicholas. If Lego didn't exist, what would you collect? That's an interesting thing. If Lego didn't exist. So, I mean, I can't really think of another hobby medium that you could build with. I mean, obviously there's like mega blocks and mega constructs and whatever, but there's no like interlocking brick system that I feel like is as widely available as Lego. So that'd be really tough. Now, I don't have a for sure answer for that, but there are 2 things that come to mind. Number one is actually like the display models and replicas of like scaled down military stuff. Like battleships, destroyers, like tanks and stuff like that. I'm a big military nerd. I like collecting that stuff for display. I feel like I'd probably get into some of that. Another side hobby I'm getting into right now, which is dangerous, is shoe collecting. I've only have like 2 pairs of shoes, so relax. But I've been getting into it and I kind of like it. So maybe if I wasn't spending as much money on Lego, I might divert the funds into those 2 hobbies. But I mean, if there wasn't Lego, I'm not really sure what it would be at right now, but other than maybe those 2. So guys, thank you for watching today's video, today's episode of Matt's Mind. Hope you all enjoyed. Like I said, every Monday we'll be back now consistently every single week, 100%. I promise. Gonna be good ones, guys. If you have any questions, drop them down below in the comments. Make sure you subscribe. Drop a like down below if you enjoyed today's video, and we'll see you later. Take it easy. Peace.